like the only
I don't know. I feel like Al Qaeda and like ISIS are kind of on their back foot, right? You don't really hear them in the news cycle anymore.
Who just retook Syria?
ISIS just retook Syria, didn't they?
Yeah, and sent Russia leaving with their tail between their legs. Yeah.
Huh.
So we'll probably see a similar situation in Syria now that we did in Libya.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought the Syria up. Did you see what CNN fucking did?
Markets.
Did you see what CNN fucking did?
No.
I do think.
So Syrian government falls. Al-Assad's out. This evil oppressor, and all the prisoners are going free. All the political prisoners. These people getting to see the sunlight the first time. And I think it's Dana Bash over at CNN. She they're like camera in hand. They go in there and they free this prisoner. He hasn't seen the fucking sunlight in God knows how long. He's squinting on the outside. He's like, oh, thank God. They're like, the government has fallen. You are free. And he's like, oh, thank God. Are you serious? Really? I'm free? And they're like, oh, yes. And like, come on, we're going to get you to the aid station, get you hooked up. And they freed this poor, like, political prisoner. And then somebody, I guess, watched CNN and said, that's actually Al-Balin Nadaga. He is the torturer of Lebanon. He's Al-Assad's, like, left-hand man.
Yeah.
You freed him? Like you let him out?
Super bad dude, yeah.
And they're like, not only did we free him, we broadcasted it.
So now Syria is going into the hands of a much more intense religious terror group than it was prior. Assad protected, what is it, the Shia Muslims and the Christians in Syria. And now ISIS or their tangential parties are going to be in charge, and it's going to go.
I have seen some pretty rough execution videos since after he got overthrew.
Have you considered maybe this time will be better?
No, I think it'll be. I think we saw Gaddafi in Libya.
So the rebel group who overthrew Assad is Hayat Tahrir al-Sham,
What's their flag look like?
Turkish-backed group.
I'll tell you if they're good or not. I need to see the flag.
Let me look.
Well, it makes sense that it's Turkey because Turkey's been trying to get Syria from what?
It's just a journalist having his head sawn off on a flag.
Turkey's been trying to take over Syria for like literally 1,000 years.
They're this close.
They've before, and then they lose. Like they got it in like 1590 or something, and then it didn't pan out. They lost it again.
Will this work if I like paste?
What do you think the main export of Syria is, Taylor? Like, what do you think they do there?
Yes, that did work, Wendigoon.
Okay. It's their flag apparently.
They have oil. They have oil there, but I don't. They don't have like refineries and stuff, do they?
See, that's cheaty. You always go back to oil.
Okay, well then, if it's not oil, then what are they fucking? What are those? Oh, dates. Maybe it's dates.
See, I thought olives, maybe.
I feel like olives is like more North Mediterranean, like Greece and Italy.
It looks like cotton, followed by fruits. And I think I'm gonna give you no points.
Wouldn't have been my guess. And that oil was not on the list.
Oh yeah, I was skipping the oil because it's just like it's a Middle Eastern country, so that's always going to be number one.
That's got to be their jam, and they're all about oil. So yeah, deposed another country. So that's
a lot of people dying. Pretty cool.
A lot of people dying. A lot of Christians and Shia Muslims. Wait, Shia, what's the more extreme sect? Sunni or Shia? I don't remember.
I think it's Sunni.
Sunni's the more extreme. I wanted to say, that a lot of Shia Muslims and Christians in the region supported Assad, and then the Sunni Muslims were like, "Nah, bitch, we got to go full caliphate."
This isn't one where I bet Taylor and I agree. I'm like, I'm going to go non-interventionist on this one. Let those guys sort themselves out.
Now let that bleed over towards Israel and Ukraine, Woody. Let it matriculate.
Well, let me ask
you. We'll be on the same side with all of it.
I'm with you on Israel.
I agree. I don't want to like dip my toes into Syria, but don't you want to still like send those tier 1 guys over to wipe out any evil fellows? We know where they live. Maybe have the drone strike every now and then, blow up a little cafe full of douchebags. You know what I mean?
You know, it's tempting, Kyle, but what if that leads to the next 9/11? Like,
what if that touches
a couple bad guys and a wedding or two, and we angered people?
I immediately take back what I said about Sunni. Sunni makes up 90% of the world's Muslim population. That is not the extreme.
Okay, well then he was protecting the Sunni and the Christians. That's what it is. Then Shia are the extremists.
Dude, if they were going to do another 9/11,
Assad was popular amongst the moderate Muslims in the region as well as the Christians in that region. because he was a bulwark against these extremist groups and protected them in cities like, I want to say, Damascus.
So was Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, it's the same situation again. So was Gaddafi.
They're never.
Except they're all madmen.
They're all crazy madmen that were previously rational actors. Crazy.
I don't think Saddam was a rational actor.
Absolutely was. He was acting in a way that he was trying to solidify Iraq's control over their own oil reserves and their own banking.
He gassed tens of thousands of villagers, and his sons were known for their rape, torture fund, and their secret police, private secret police. I don't think so.
Well, it was very important oil reserves. I don't know what you want.
Very important.
That was a foolish man.
You don't have to think that everything's good or bad.
Those people, because they were doing the Civil War uprising.
Can't there be some nuance to this guy?
I mean, unironically, yes, there is. There is nuance to geopolitics, but it's easier just to have like a good guy, bad guy.
I always thought that he gassed his own people. It's like, yeah, they were starting a civil war. Like by that measure, Abraham Lincoln shot his own people.
Do you remember?
Those were our allies.
Do you remember in 2018 when they said, and this was one of the conspiracies I did on the show. In 2018, they said Bashar al-Assad during
really
a UN
under the Denver airport.
Well, it was different. This was a better one. They said in 2018 that Bashar al-Assad was gassing his own people, and they said he was doing it in the middle of a UN weapons inspection while they were inspecting for a gas attack. And so they're there inspecting, and then suddenly a gas attack happens in a place that's not even vaguely strategically important and wouldn't do anything other than implicate Assad and cause problems on the global stage. And yeah, my conspiracy back then was absurd. Like it was a false flag nonsense. Obviously, the leader of this country during a UN inspection desperately does not want to draw the ire of the UN. He wouldn't do that. There's nothing to gain from it. And so clearly there's been a target on this guy's back for a very long time.
Oh, I thought the conclusion was going to be they determined that he really did.
Oh, no, they never.
That the NATO did false flag it.
No, that'll probably never come out. But that's what
That'd be cool.
Personally,
you know what? I can imagine like some fucking Delta Force guys going in and like, all right, we've got first they have to steal the Russian gas, and then they've got to like use it on the Syrians, but make it look like the Syrians did it to themselves. Like that would be a fun little mission to be on.
It's a movie.
So I know we're already off of this topic, but it seems like the Shia Islamic group is not explicitly violent either. They're just all non-violent. It's those who practice a kind of outward jihad or like jihadism that tends to be the ones, because jihad can either mean a struggle against oneself and a betterment within Islam, or it can mean a attack against those who are non-Islamic, attempting to remove Islam from you. So it looks like it's not the Shia either. I don't know what. Yeah.
When you're sitting in America, it's so easy to other everyone who's not like us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then a better way to put it then would be moderate, normal Muslims and Christians, and then the extremists. I guess.
Old, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean. The old terrorists.
Yeah.
They love terror.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this is going to be the time that our involvement in the Middle East is like gangbusters. Like everything's going to be coming up.
Oh, you think?
No, it's gonna not. Like, it'll continue to just be a money pit. I think already we're increasing the amount of soldiers on the ground we have in Syria, further involving in a fight with ISIS there.
We would never do such a thing.
So you think we're going to be doing more fighting and all?
I think it'll lead to more. I was meaning like. I was joking that like this was the Middle Eastern conflict that when we involved ourselves, it was going to go smooth as silk and actually work, and it would pay dividends to the American people. But
we're on the right track.
I'm not.
I took it to mean we're going to ramp up, and I was like, "You think?" Because
we are ramping up in Syria.
I know
I'm not
Trump
sure
isn't.
All of our
no one thinks he's a hawk at all, and I think that his dove tendencies are a little oversold, but not completely oversold. So we'll see where he lands.
Well, they already doubled, it looks like, the number of troops in Syria.
I don't look at the last 23 years as a failure. You know what I mean? Like what I know is we haven't had another 9/11. I know we ain't had no more skyscrapers fall. And I know that millions of people over there have died, and a lot of them were bad.
Interesting. No other 9/11. I actually have a tiger repelling mailbox.
Do you?
Yeah. I've never once had a tiger show up ever since I put that.
How much?
I
need a tiger.
You think that's an argument? Was that a joke?
I think that you're like doing a causation equals.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. There's an organization of tigers out there whose sworn motto is "Death to Taylor" and "Death to America." Those evil tigers. No, there aren't. There aren't any tigers after
Some
you.
tigers are evil. They kill those Indians.
I bet tigers would do that if they could. It's actually fences that stop them.
You're not some Siegfried and Roy. There's no tigers in your world, but there are terrorists who want to kill Americans. Like, they'd love it. They'd love it. They talk about it all the fucking time, or at least they used to.
Saying that the last 23 years of interventionism in the Middle East is what's preventing 9/11 is insane. If anything, we've angered more people than previously imaginable in that region.
Oh, yeah, you get mad when your terrorist buddies die, don't you?
The people who live there who aren't terrorists are not pleased with us being there.
What are they going to do?
I guess get really mad and probably form covert groups where they plan to attack.
They better not become terrorists or they'll get what the other people got. My point is, we've had no big terror attacks. We've killed millions of people, and a lot of them were bad. We are winning by such a degree, I can't even measure it.
$2 trillion. There's a measure.
What price do you put on safety? What price do you put on a 9? How about that? We can have a 9/11 every Thursday under Taylor's America.
Again, 250,000 people dying of fentanyl overdoses from our open border.
Fentanyl. All those wonderful souls. They were just trying fentanyl. Just those go-getters. Come on, who's fentanyl killing, Taylor?
People trying to do coke and also drug addicts. and also people who are like being dosed unknowingly. And,
you can say that about ricin. You can say that about ricin. Anybody?
Well, how many people die of ricin every year? Because your argument in favor of the interventionism was some promise of safety.
I'm saying not a promise, a guarantee. 23 years now, no 9/11s. You know how many people Obama killed alone? I think he might have the record for drone strikes, for deadly drone strikes.
Probably. I don't know.
He was keeping us fucking safe. And you don't think it made people mad? You don't think those wedding attendees who got vaporized were mad? But I
don't think they had an opinion.
The thing is, you can get as mad as you want. Don't forget, the reason you're mad is because we sent fire from the sky from the other side of the planet with a button. Because that's who we are. And I love that.
I love that.
We send death from the sky with a push of a button, and you can't even if you could be Wolverine and it wouldn't fucking matter. We'd melt your ass.
Agree to disagree.
We've got weapons for that. We melt shit all the time.
Did we deal with any terrorism from the Middle East?
The U.S. military could destroy Wolverine.